One of the questions I get asked a lot is like, are we ready to write a new manifest?
No.
So, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I knew you were going to say. To me, this is really an inflection point in the industry. And one of the things I was thinking about the other day is that I feel like I'm kind of at that halfway point in my own career where like the first half was all about Agile, like introduction to Agile almost immediately after university, looking for organizations, just seeing that as a way to make sense, that made sense to make software, finding organizations that work like that, and eventually finding myself at Thoughtworks. And then being part of continuous delivery, which then became microservices, and then I was looking at data problems, which became data mesh, and and it created like a whole community essentially, which originally was kind of this seen as cowboys in the industry, and now everybody, it's like it's the default way of doing things, whether people do it well or not, different problem. But so the manifesto really sparked something for the industry. And one of the questions I get asked a lot is like, are we ready to write a new manifest?
No.
So, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I knew you were going to say. Which I agree with, by the way.
For a couple of reasons. The first reason, and I think the most compelling one, is it's way too early. I mean, the point is when we wrote the Agile Manifesto, I mean, we are in the equivalent of where, say, the Agile movement might have been in the early 90s, when people are still experimenting with ideas, still trying stuff. Kent was just forming extreme programming and things of that kind. We're exchanging ideas. In fact, in my opening remarks at the beginning of this, I said this reminds me not of the meeting that we created the manifesto, but of earlier meetings here in the Utah mountains, where we did exchanges about object-oriented design. It was a workshop called Wood, Workshop on Object-Oriented Design, and there we were exchanging ideas and building the relationships that led to a lot of the stuff that happened in the Agile world. So that's one reason. It's just too early for anything like a manifesto.
Yeah.
Secondly, I actually don't have a lot of time for manifestos. Most of them are wisely ignored by most people. I didn't actually think the Agile Manifesto was going to make much of an impact. But even though I was wrong about the Agile Manifesto and it did make an impact, I still think it was an exception.
Yeah, well, I agree with you on the first point. Certainly, I think it's too early to call it. What I've learned over the last couple of days, especially because we've got literally people from every aspect of the industry. We've got university education. We've got the big cloud players. We've got industry thought leaders. We've got clients who are senior level leaders in the enterprises, and then we've got senior thought workers, and we're actually all coming around the same questions as being open questions that we don't have answers to. There's themes. There's a divergence of ideas on how we solve and answer some of those questions. So I agree with that 100%. Is there value in the manifesto? Well, I don't know if that was an exception or not, but I certainly valued the Agile Manifesto, and I used to go back to it regularly.
I still do.
So I think it's really valuable, but we're definitely too early to call it on this. And I think if people are doing them now, I think it's extremely premature.
Yeah.